So what's the quickest and most effective way to make money online? And I'm not talking about just a couple $100 here and there. I'm talking millions of dollars by doing the least amount of work possible. Well, as someone who struggled with being lazy and what I'd consider to be a key procrastinator to now running a multi-7-figure business that I started all from scratch, I've got some incredible lessons I've learned over the years that I'm going to reveal to you in this video. Now, first of all, to begin, it turns out being lazy might actually work out in your favor. Bill Gates, the fourth richest man in the world, has been notorious for looking to specifically hire lazy people because of one reason, and that is lazy people tend to find the most efficient solutions to problems that exist. Well, when it comes to the terminology of laziness, we're not speaking about your traditional form of laziness that a lot of people think about, which is laying on the couch, eating junk food, doing nothing at all. What we're gonna focus on in this video is what I call optimized laziness, where you discover your passions and turn that into something you love, where it doesn't actually feel like you're doing work. It's also from there where you do the least amount of work possible by being intentional with every step of the process to get the highest return on investment for your time. One of my favorite quotes by far is, if you enjoy what you do, you'll never work another day in your life. Oftentimes when we feel lazy, it's because we have to do something that we actually don't want to do deep down inside. Examples of this: sitting on the couch knowing you'd rather stay down than to do that pile of dishes after you ate, or taking out the trash, or reading the book, or even going to the gym. In order to overcome laziness, more often than not, you need to make the things that you're doing just much more enjoyable. As a personal example to share, I remember I had a terrible habit where as soon as I would finish eating dinner, I would just be like so lazy to do the dishes and not want to do anything else that I would just leave it all out, put it in my sink, and then I'd save it for the next day, and I would just procrastinate. This is because I just didn't want to touch the mountain of dishes, since my kitchen was always a mess, and I genuinely just did not enjoy the process of having to clean. Now, in the past month or so, I actually made a huge radical change where I found myself enjoying the act of cleaning, tidying, and organizing, where nowadays it doesn't feel like work or a chore, and because I enjoy doing it, I find that it becomes more energizing for me to do, and it overcomes that feeling of laziness that I initially had. Now, other examples of this is like working out. There are times where it feels almost effortless to go to the gym because I enjoy what I do at the gym. I love how I feel when I get that pump, and then how I feel when I see the results the next day. Another more like real-time example is like even making a video here. There are some days, let me tell y'all, it becomes a lot of work in order for me to gather the willpower to sit here, turn on this light, turn on this camera, and start recording a video. But the simple little hack and tip that has changed the way I've approached everything is just finding genuine enjoyment and gratitude in being able to do the things that I do. So how do we apply this mindset and principle in making multi-million-dollar businesses? Well, for this, I've made a simple 8-step framework that I've learned over the years to share with you now. Starting with number 1, what you want to do is first write down a list of your interests that you genuinely enjoy doing. And by the way, if you are interested in doing something, it doesn't mean you have to be an expert or the best in it either. More specifically, with this first step, I would definitely spend more than just even like 5 minutes where you're like, okay, I love eating, I love going to the bathroom, and I love sleeping. Think outside of that. Think of things that you genuinely find that you get energy from. Ideally, you also want to get as niche as possible. So for example, if I were to give you guys my own list, I like playing rugby and I like going fishing. Now, even with that example, it's too generic. So how can I be more specific? So for this example, for the sport of rugby, true story, I've been playing now for about 10 years, and I'd like to say I'm above average, but I know I ain't the best. Now, realizing that, I know at least 100 players that are either playing for the Major League Rugby team here in the US or playing for some of the best men's club team in the country. Now, if I was the best at this sport, then I would go ahead and consider, coaching others, starting a business, maybe doing some mentorships in order to get people to a place where I was at one point, where I got a few Division I scholarships and I was able to play for a couple other club teams in this area and win a couple championships. That was nice too. But in me recognizing the fact that I ain't the very, very best, what I would do is then look in more creative ways. As an example, I know one specific friend that has been playing on now the US national level, and he's been extremely good over the years in just juking the crap out of people. From here, I can just imagine all of the players from the high school level, the college level, where they can just get a 2-hour session with him and just learn how to juke on the level that he does. From there, I would even consider doing something like a revenue split, get some marketing done through some of the clubs that we've played with, with and word of mouth. And from there, we just sell tickets. Maybe it's like $50 or $100 to attend this one-day boot camp. People are finding value. He gets paid, and then I would just do a commission split off of him. And from there, I found out a creative way to make money off of something that I enjoy doing. Now, that's a bit more of a specific example, but let's go back to that fishing one. I love going fishing, but by any means, there are days where I get skunked, which means I don't catch anything at all. I've tried the whole game of where I go out, I make YouTube videos, I create content, I do affiliate marketing from there, and maybe eventually I'd start my own brand, but I know that is the complete opposite of being a successful, lazy business owner. So what I would do is know that I have a passion in this, but I also recognize, once again, I'm not the best. But from me creating content, building my own personal brand, trying it out, I realized that I was able to meet other creators within the space who specifically fished. Now from there, if I know that there are specific creators who have an audience bigger than what I could have grown, I would even consider making a full guide, as an example, on fishing ponds within my area, the area of Maryland. And from here, I talk with the expert. Hey, what's the best baits to use? What are the best times to actually go out and fish? What are some of the best spots to go out so I know that I can catch fish, that I don't waste my time every time I go out? If I know a whole bunch of content creators around this area that are continuing to crush it, I would offer them an affiliate deal where I go ahead, I make this guide once and for all, where I collect the information from them. Maybe I don't even know some of the best spots, but they do, and we would just do like a 50-50 rev split. The whole key to doing lazy business work is also not just doing enjoyable work, but finding a way to delegate and automate and also create systems so that you're not doing more work than you need to. In just those two examples, I've actually done pretty much half of this formula already. And to continue, it's first of all, writing down a list of those interests, as we had mentioned, then getting clear with your messaging on who you're trying to reach. So I know that if I work together with the rugby folks or the fishing folks, that target demographic of people who watch them or are within their network are people who probably enjoy fishing. From there, the third most important thing is to solve a problem. This is how money is made. A lot of people overlook how to make money. They overcomplicate it. Like, you got to be born from a rich family to do any of this. But at the end of the day, in you making money, it's you solving a problem. If you're working a job right now on the corporate level, you are solving problems. You're just doing it for a bigger company that technically owns you and then that pays you for the delivery of your services. When it comes to making, starting, and scaling a profitable business, it's all about solving problems within a specific niche. From there, you either become the expert or you get in touch with an expert within a certain space. Say, as an example, you are naturally talented in playing video games, and even now it's almost effortless. So you wouldn't actually have to find an expert playing Call of Duty in order to sell their audience a guidebook on it. You yourself, if you're good at it, you can then make content yourself, which feels effortless because you enjoy doing it, post that content on YouTube, and then in the link in the description of that video, all you have to do is sell a guide. Hey, here are the top 10 tricks that if you spend even 10 minutes a day doing before you get into a game, where you'll improve your KD ratio to like 3 points. That right there identifies the audience. You're doing something that you love. You get clear with your messaging. You're solving a problem, helping other people improve. And then from there, you're able to start generating a profit. Now, at this point, you should have been able to sell one offer on a passion that you have or that you can identify. From here, it's all about the act of just rinsing and repeating. When you get super good at just being an entrepreneur and identifying different opportunities, essentially, you can then move into something called acquisitions. Now, this is how you become like the final Bowser version of the ultimate lazy entrepreneur, making a ton of money, still doing the most minimal amount of work. This is where, from the initial methods of being able to generate money at minimal work, you're then able to take the funds from that, don't waste it, don't blow it on dumb stuff, keep that money and use it to then acquire or invest into other businesses. Now, I've been super blessed over the past few years where I've been able to angel invest in 20 different small businesses and startups. On top of that, I also co-own the first Japanese barbecue restaurant here in Rockville, Maryland. As an example, for the restaurant, they do all the work. I don't do anything at all, but yet I still collect a check every single quarter. Over time, if you're able to leverage skills that you built, which is, by the way, free free and available online in like videos like this where I'm educating you guys. You can then use that to provide other businesses help to help scale them, where then you can earn some even more money. If you don't want to do that and you just want to focus on making money, you have a boatload of money, you can then invest that into other companies. And similar to the principle of investing into crypto or stocks, you're having these assets work for you, where over time it's giving you a positive return, where you're literally at this point not doing any work at all. Now, I believe though the most valuable thing for you to become a successful, lazy entrepreneur making millions of dollars is to just continue acquiring skills. This is because if you happen to not have like $100,000+ to invest in, you can always leverage those skills into different businesses. One way that you can do this is by actually going through SBA, getting low interest loans to acquire and buy businesses. And if you're able to provide the SBA with a full business write-up, or even go to your bank and let them know, hey, there's a power washing company, there's a window cleaning company, and they're not doing that good right now, but they're profitable, and I think I can come in kind of like a private equity firm, give them a business plan, revamp it, acquire it, and start cash flowing for yourself. You right there did not do any of the work that they did to build up. You didn't even have to get any more money because banks are willing to loan people money for ventures like this, and all you have to do is use your skill set in order to grow that company. It's crazy the opportunities that exist nowadays, and it all starts from the bare basics of doing something that you like, finding the skill in it, and continuing to execute day after day. At this point, ladies and gents, you've just become the ultimate successful, laziest entrepreneur. But just a few final tips to maximize your output, which will allow you to stay out on top, is this. 1, learn to delegate, hire a team. 2, scale and automate systems. And 3, get efficient and invest often. Ladies and gents, if you enjoyed videos like this, definitely let me know down below in the comment section. This is pretty much like a condensed version of what I've done over the many, many years of being here within the space. And for people who have been following me for the past few years, y'all already know my story. Y'all have seen the come up over the past 5 years, and you'll know starting from zero, this is pretty much the method that I went. Very rarely does a day go by where it feels like I'm actually doing work, and it's been such a privilege and a blessing to continue to do this day after day. And hopefully from this video here, you guys are able to take action and implement this into your life yourself. Now, by the way, if you're an entrepreneur, you're trying to start your own business and you're trying to do it in the most efficient way, another way to do this is to make sure that you have the right credit cards. Over the past few months on our channel, we've primarily made content talking about how to utilize credit cards to the full benefit possible. So if you guys don't know a single thing about it, or maybe you have heard about it, but you have not even gotten into the credit card game, be sure to watch a video like my ultimate credit card hacking guide, or just check out some of the links down below in the description where you can check out our favorite credit cards at no cost to you. On top of that, if you want to go ahead and join our Patreon, link to our Discord, be sure to check out the link down below in the description. And one last thing, if you guys want to follow me over on Instagram, I've been posting a lot of behind the scenes stuff over there. Shoot me a follow. If we're releasing something new, mentorship courses, whatever it is, new products, I'll be letting you guys know there first. Thank you all so much again for watching today's video. Have an amazing day, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.